Everybody, hello, and welcome back to another episode, a very special episode of The Big Three. Tonight, we're talking about a lot of things. It's been a really shitty week for your president and Republicans all across the United States. Now, I know that you thought it couldn't get any worse than what it was when we talked about this last week, as they lost elections all over the country and they were reeling with these election losses, but it did. It got worse, and we're going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about the call for a nationwide boycott during the week of Thanksgiving and shortly thereafter. And we're going to talk about why this type of resistance is needed in moments like this. And I have another huge special surprise for everyone in addition to that. So I'm so glad that you're here. Happy to see all. And yeah, contestants like, hope you bring some tea. We got some tea to go with your snacks. So super excited to share it. Now, we're going to start off here with this amazing. Look at this. Look at this screen. Look at the 6 beautiful faces on this screen, ready to engage in some really, really good dialogue. And we're going to start off talking about the call for a mass blackout. And so and we got with us Askel, Carlos, and Kiki, who are leading this movement, organizing this movement. A lot of people, you've seen the flyers, but maybe you didn't know kind of what it was, where it was coming from, and why we're doing it. And so I'm just going to open the floor up to any of the three of you can jump in and answer the question. And the first thing we want to know is, why is there a current call for a mass blackout right now in regards to consumer spending? Why are we doing this?
Well, the first reason is, I'm sure everyone who follows you understands that we are under full fascism. So that is why we're doing it. And what we have done, this mass blackout started with 4 different organizations, and now we have over 82 grassroots organizations who have come on board to support it. And so it started as, we're not working, we're not spending, we're not doing anything. And we want it to be an inclusive movement. And so we brought on organizations who are like, you know what, my followers may not be able, they'll lose their house if they don't go to work. And so we want it to be as inclusive as possible. So we've created over 150 different ways that you can contribute. But I want to cite a number that is really important, and it's that Black Friday is expected to have $12.3 billion of spending. And so our goal is to put the biggest fucking dent in that we can.
Give us that number again. Repeat that.
$12.3 billion.
Wow.
Big one.
Wow.
My question is, how are people supposed to afford that?
How are people
like dealing with just like with affordability, facing with the affordability crisis right now. And I was just doing the numbers, looking at, did you know that we're actually dealing with the highest record when it comes to credit card debt right now?
Mm-hmm. And unemployment. There are more jobs open. There are more people in the United States than there are jobs. I get it. And so what we've done, and we've gotten a lot of feedback on that, right? I mean, we're here to be inclusive. And so some people have to go to work. Some people are like, that's how I afford my Christmas gifts, right? And one of the interesting data points that has come up is when you take a look across the board at United States consumer spending, we outpace every other country by, we're talking 100x, right? And so we know Americans love their shit, right? We know Americans love Black Friday. They love all of it. The goal is to slow down, right? Do we need all of these things? The other thing is, what we're asking people to do is, if you need to shop on those days and you want to get the deals, support small business, minority-owned businesses. And we've had so many creators who've created shopping guides for Black Friday, so that we're not making Jeff Bezos richer, right? So that we're not, padding the pockets of the owners of Walmart. Like, we want to make sure that the money is going back into our communities.
So to re-emphasize, right there, and the movement recognizes that there are things that some people have to do. So if you have to work. If you have to travel for your family, then travel for your family. If these are plans you've already made. It's that if you do not have to work and you have the days to take off. If you can call in, call in. If you don't have to travel, withhold that money. And if you don't have to buy during this week, don't buy, which is one of the least things that you can actually do. And I'm even looking at it from the perspective of if you have to even cut it short. Like I plan to not spend from Thanksgiving Day until Tuesday. Like not at all. Because I want everyone, I'll get big for a brief moment here and then we'll kick it to Carlos and to Axel. I want to say that, every year on Saturday morning after Black Friday, you get the numbers in and they talk about the biggest Black Friday, the most consumer spending, and how we've done all this work to bring money to the table for organizations and corporations like Amazon and Walmart and Target and Meta and all the shit that we're going to buy to support consumerism in the United States of America. And, sometimes we may even see it as a necessary evil. And I'm going to tell you, I would never tell anyone to skip out on Christmas because, again, you never know when it will be someone's last Christmas with someone that they love, as I talked about last week. But what I will say is I want to see Amazon suffer. Zachary Kirk, I want to see Apple suffer. I want to see Target suffer. I want to see every single person who bent the knee to fascism suffer currently in this year because we are suffering. The American people are suffering. The 42 million people who were denied food stamps are suffering. The men and women who serve this country who were denied their benefits, they're suffering. People who are about to lose health care because of the Affordable Care Act, they are suffering. So I want to see these motherfucking billionaires brought to their fucking knees because of the work that we do and what we do by just simply withholding our hard-earned money. So that's what I want to see. And that's why I'm not going to spend shit on this Black Friday. And I'm a shopper on the holidays. I go overboard for the children in my family because of what I didn't have growing up. Because of the Christmases that I lived through, I go overboard. Like you have no idea how overboard I go to make sure that my nieces and my nephews don't have that same type of experience. But this year will be different. It will not be the same. It won't be because, again, I want to see an impact. I want you to reflect back to January and to the inauguration. Who were the first people to kiss his ass? Who were the first people to kiss his ass in the front row of that fucking inauguration inside of a fucked up room because it was too cold outside? It was the billionaires. It was Jeff Bezos. It was Mark Zuckerberg. It was Tim Cook. They were there first, kissing his ass, showing and putting their money behind him, writing him $1 million checks. Don't forget. They wrote $1 million checks. It's time for us to withhold our money this year. Carlos and Axel, either one could jump in.
Well, I would just say, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I would just say, look, it's not just about the negative. I want to remind people when we called for the first National Day of Protest in late January, which became the February 5th protest, and then the President's Day one, which became the first No Kings protest. Between those first two protests, we called for the boycott of Tesla. And Elon Musk ended up tweeting that I was evil for it, which made me laugh at the time. But we've had an economic track to this movement for the whole time that we've been doing it, to try to get Americans to exercise economic power to deliver better outcomes. Not just vis-a-vis Trump, by the way, because when you're talking about economic justice, you're talking about racial justice and social justice and gender justice and a lot of different things. But the fact that what I'm really proud of is that, as you heard, there were 4 different calls supported by about 10 or 12 different organizations for a blackout of Black Friday. And what happened here is that the movement organically found a way to come together and to unify those calls into a single call involving now over 51 organizations. And the fact that we were able to achieve that unity organically, without ego, everybody on the same page trying to achieve the same result, it's the next step that we needed in terms of unifying the movement. It's also a call that, because it's about social justice and racial justice and it's economic justice, it also has inspired participation from a lot of groups that for very legitimate reasons had not participated in, like the No Kings movement and et cetera. And so it's bringing a lot more people to the table because the conversation is bigger than just about Donald Trump. It's about how do we find equality and equity in this society going forward after we get past Trump, because these problems predated him. He is a symptom of a failed solution by white people to dominate the way it gets solved. And now we're all going to have skin in the game and figure out how to solve it together. So that movement, the fact that this movement came together, the fact that we figured out a way organically to unify multiple efforts and to do it at this level and with this level of execution is actually a really positive message about what's happening with the patriotism that's showing up to answer Donald Trump. So my main point is I want to reflect on the goodness that has shown up. Never forget the helpers, as Mr. Rogers used to say, because they're everywhere. They've shown up. They've unified. They've built a vision, and they've executed on that vision, and it's been beautiful to witness. And as somebody who's been here the whole time, because I made the first call, so I've been here and watched it all develop. I'm just really proud of this movement for being as mature and as capable and as grown up as this moment requires, because that is rare. And the fact that these people have shown up and put their egos aside and are working for this country together, despite very different races, socioeconomic situations, etc., is fucking awesome. And so, mostly I just want to make sure that we don't lose the positive because we're so dragged down by the Epstein files and the bullshit and the rape and all the horribleness that's coming from this administration.
I agree. And then also I want to point out that there is many ways that you can help as well. I know that Kenny said, people are suffering, but this is a little bit of a sacrifice to those who can make it because we are under attack. This is not like to comfort, to cuddle anyone. This is emergency. We are in a very hostile takeover, and this is the time to rise up while we can. Well, we still have the Constitution, and so people get crafty with their Klarnas and their afterpays and all of that to buy things because they still will use it. They still will do it. But then use it for the people that matter in your life, do it for your children. And so if you are unable to do it, say, we have this QR code right here. You can just donate at least $1. And then that's all. Unsubscribe to your emailing list. This is a free advertisement for people. So if you get Best Buy or whatever other advertisements, unsubscribe to all of them that day. Turn off all your TV, unsubscribe to anything that you can. So then you are able to support us in any way. Because
you're saying like any subscriptions cancel for this week. Like this week you cancel. Yeah. You hit up like this week you cancel it. You unsubscribe to it. You can go back maybe later, but just cut that shit now.
It's about cutting the cord to the oligarchy, man. We're being governed. 8 people have as much money as 4 billion people. 8 have as much as 4 billion.
Repeat that statistic.
8 people, 8 human beings have as much wealth as 4 billion human beings. So what we're trying to do is cut the umbilical cord. Say, fuck these people. These people are not our people. They don't speak for us. They've made us, we've become forced labor for a generation of billionaires. And it's not even 100 of them. It's 8 that control as much as half of the planet. So what we're trying to say to people is wake the fuck up. You are serving people. There's going to be a trillionaire on this earth before we solve world hunger, which would only cost $30 billion a year to solve. You know that Americans spend $32 billion a year on overdraft fees. So for the money we spend because we don't have money, we could feed the entire fucking planet and not have a single hungry person on this planet. And the fact that this hasn't happened already, that we can't spend $30 billion to solve world hunger, but we can spend it to buy 2 jets for the U.S. military is fucking ridiculous. And the fact is, we're showing up to say enough is enough, cut the umbilical cord, show them who their bosses are. And then if you want to reconnect your subscriptions, do it judiciously. Don't go to people that are behaving irrationally, that are adding to the problem, that are lying to you, that are manipulating you, that are trying to get you to continue to serve these people without fucking asking yourself why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that week, we're asking you not to show up for them at all economically. Just don't show up economically. Go for hikes. Enjoy your friends, But don't
organize
show up
your closets, play games, do whatever.
Exactly.
And Carlos, you said something that I think is important that I want to double click on, which is Trump is just a symptom. He's like a zit on the ass of fascism, right? So like they love that he is dividing everyone and keeping us all busy, because while he's doing that, the billionaires are
Right.
taking all the money, they're building all the data centers. And I don't know if you guys are aware of the control grid that
Oh
they're
my
installing, but
God.
it's something that I have been focused on like wholeheartedly. Just a little bit of my background. I left Apple after 17 years last year, and I've been full-time committed to democracy. And so I still have quite a bit of Apple stock, and it kills me to say this because financially it's going to hurt me, but they just launched digital ID in America. That
Right.
is the control grid. So the control grid is 40% installed in America. And this is a whole nother episode, so we can talk about that later. But we are getting to a point, we have a bunch of those, it's a little more than the 8 billionaires, but we have a group of elites who we've seen they hoard their money. We've seen that they hoard all of the resources.
Yeah.
They truly believe that there are not enough resources on this earth for all of us. Bill Gates has said it himself. People call me MAGA for talking about Bill Gates. He has said we need to decrease the world population by at least 15% if we're going to survive as a human race. That is what their plan is. Why do you think they're building all of these AI data centers? Why do you think he's creating processed meat and telling us that we need to save the world eating his meat, but yet he has the highest carbon footprint of anyone? This is a bunch of billionaires and elites who want to put us all under their control in these 15-minute cities. So what they do, you get a digital ID and you'll see it across. They canceled 88 million bank accounts in which country was it? I'm trying to think. They canceled 88 million bank accounts in Asia because they didn't agree to a digital ID. China already has it 100% installed. You heard Keir Starmer say, in the UK, if you don't get a digital ID by 2026, you can't work. Canada's doing the same thing. So when Apple says we're now launching and people are walking into it because they think it's convenience. It's like, oh, I'm going to flash my digital ID. But here's the thing about a digital ID, guys. Once your whole identity is linked to a digital ID, they can erase everything about you with a keystroke. So you own nothing. I don't care how much money you have in your bank account. It can be, I don't care if you're Taylor Swift. You can be down to zero if she produces a song that they don't like. Your mortgage can be wiped out. So in China, they have rising numbers of homeless people because they're not throwing their trash out the way the elites don't want. Their whole identity is erased. So it's not just in America. This is a worldwide group of elites who is trying to lock us in. And so you see it. And like, we've heard so many people like, well, I can't shop on Black Friday. Have you seen what they're doing in Nepal? Have you seen what they're doing in Italy? They are burning shit
Have you
down
seen what
because
they did this week in Mexico?
yeah, because they are more progressed than we are. So people don't realize what's coming for them. But like, we're all here together because we see the patterns. I call my team, I was like, we're a bunch of neurodivergent divas who just have like pattern recognition, and we see it, we clock it, and we're here to tell you about it. But like, people aren't seeing that. I don't care if like, first they came for women's rights, then they came for first they came for immigrants, then women's rights. But you know, they're coming for the most marginalized communities. But the cis white man who thinks he's safe, he is not. And people aren't going to realize it until it's too late.
And so we're going to make you big for the moment here, Axel, so that people who want that QR code can get it. You can also get this QR code on social media. You can go on Instagram. That's where I had it and found it. And you can also go there. I'm glad Poetic Justice is here. Poetic, go back to the beginning, because everything that we talked about in the beginning is the shit that you love. Like, you love this. He loves this. So I need him to, if he missed the beginning, I need you to go back and look and zoom in on Carlos's amazing clip and statement. But of course, we're going to be showing that and kind of emphasizing it. So hopefully you were able to get this. Tiff, any questions or comments to add in?
No, this is interesting information, and I'm sure the audience will appreciate it. Hope everything goes well. I'm I'm with you guys. I will not be spending my money, and I think it's a worthwhile cause, just for a week. You know what I mean? It's not like saying don't do it for the whole month, don't celebrate Christmas. It's like just pause and take a beat and
Well,
It's
just
just a week.
yeah,
It's
we're
just a
But
we're
week.
here's the thing:
we're a few
you can
minutes away
still
from
celebrate
asking you
Christmas.
to
Like,
also do it on Christmas. So I don't want to get too far ahead of this, but we'll probably ask you to withhold on Christmas as well. That said,
It's
guys, I
quite
just want
warm.
to thank. I want to for having me and for having us. This is a coalition that happened organically. It is super exciting to watch. So many groups of Americans come together from so many different angles to solve the same problem. And I'm just excited. Thank you for having me. I unfortunately have to hop, but
No, we thank you
I'm
guys.
in DC for the Remove the Regime rally, and I just wanted to remind your audience that we organized a rally that is calling for the removal of Donald Trump, and it's
Mm.
happening on Saturday at the Lincoln Memorial at noon. And then right after that rally, with the energy that we gather from that, we want everybody to black out their economic activity completely from the 25th to the 2nd. Again, thank you very much, guys, for having me. Thank you for what you're doing,
Thank you
and
guys.
obviously here, American Opposition, and all of our partners who are here to be
Follow
of service. So
on
if you guys
social
need us, please
media.
let us know.
American Opposition
Yes,
on
please
Instagram.
at
Follow.
American right AmericanOpposition.org, American Opposition on most platforms. Please find us, keep in touch, and come out to DC if you live in Baltimore, in Maryland, in Virginia. Come out to DC and see us, because honestly, this rally is going to be like the March on Washington for this moment. It's going to be pivotal in changing this conversation, and we're very excited about it, and we want to make sure that everybody makes it. Thanks, guys.
thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
thanks for
you,
having.
Carlos. And Kiki and Axel, any concluding thoughts?
Yes, I want to say that this is just the beginning. Obviously, if you participated in No Kings, then you are ready for this fight. You made your you made your marches, you made your signs. We saw you out in the streets. This is the part two. This is the time where you put your boots on and then help us out to make this happen, because we were at least 7 million, right? So where are you? We need you to change. If you are on social media, follow us, change your profile to the logo that you see down here, and then follow us, share our message, because we need to reach out more than the 7 million. And this can also be worldwide, because Walmart and all the other big brands are worldwide. So imagine if we do it worldwide, it will be a huge impact. And we have to think big, and everybody across the globe also supported No Kings. So I think it's important that you remember that the power that we have, even if it's just minuscule, multiplied by millions, it is tangible. I participated in the largest labor strike in California in 2023, and we won. But it took 8 months of hard work striking in the streets. Was it fun? Yes. Was it crazy? Yes. Was it scary? Yes. But it all pays off. So you just have to continue doing it until you get what you want. And so therefore, I feel like, don't feel defeated if you aren't able to participate this time, but do the steps, do the easy steps that you can.
And thank
Thank
you for those
you.
that are donating. Just one thing to comment on that, for Feeding America, $1, because they do it at such a mass level, $1 feeds 10 people. And so the reason why we're partnering with Feeding America is because the biggest threat to fascism is community. And the only way out of this is through, guys. And we're going to have to stick together. And they've done so much. And the other thing about the mass
The
blackout is it's
biggest
not.
threat to fascism is community.
Yep. And that's
That's
why they've
the
attacked
aha
our
moment. Like
communities.
that's a powerful statement. That is the biggest threat to fascism is community. And that's why they work so hard to keep us divided and to keep us at each other's throats so we never turn to theirs.
That's right. And one of the things that we found in the work that we've been doing in the past year, our team started with election integrity because we know she won. We have the data, and we have gone to every media outlet, progressive creators, and nobody would speak to us because guess what? They're all paid by the same system. And so we started, and now it's all coming up to the surface. I mean, I like to call, nobody hates Trump more than me. Well, you guys probably hate Trump as much as I do, but I like to call him the accidental alchemist, because he's just blowing shit up, right? Like, he's the bull in the china shop. And I truly believe that there was a rot in our system that needed to come to the surface. Now, I am not applauding him, because I despise the man and I hate how many people are hurt. But you heard Kamala say it when she was on Stephen Colbert. She was like, the system is broken. So what he is doing, he's just expediting the process, right? And so when we will remove him, and that's the goal of this, right? We are going to remove him and that entire illegitimate regime. And when we do, it is time to build a new government, because the one that we had didn't work for anyone.
And that's where we're going to build our power. If we are able to all remain together, we can primary the people that we don't want in power and vote them all out, because that's the only way forward. We need to remain together no matter what happens from this point forward. We are a family that is building, and we all have different ways to come and link up. Well, we have to stick together. This is not just one off and, oh, well, I go back to my same routine. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be something that is going to take time, because it's going to take time. We have to teach people. Some people are ready. Some people are not ready. So, that's the
process. So, well, thank you guys for joining us.
We have
our marching orders, and we appreciate it, guys. We'll
have a great night.
See you guys soon.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah, like I think this is a great, well, I want to know what you guys think. Let's hear it. What are your thoughts? Tiffany,
I mean, I love it. I mean, I was gonna support it regardless. Child, ain't nobody getting shit from me. Call me the Grinch this Christmas, because ain't nobody getting that goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Not a thing. I can't afford it. I can't afford it at all. I am hoarding every dollar, every cent, because I don't know what the fuck's about to happen in 2026. So I have to prepare. I'm gonna pack and stack. That's what I'm doing. Packing and stacking.
Packing and stacking.
That's what I have to do. That's literally what I've learned. I learned you got to pack and stack. And
I've
also
committed to several families beyond my own for Christmas. And I mean, to be transparent, the children and the families I'm adopting for Christmas through like Angel Tree, they're going to get more than what my family is going to get this year, because I am scaling back. But I do definitely recognize the immense need of so many people. And I just want to do whatever I can to help. But I agree, Kenny. I do. I promise you, I'm doing less than I usually do. And that's what I'll say.
But consumerism has been a problem with us for a long time. We've constantly fed into these corporations, feeding them while they continue to ask for more and more tax breaks for them to still outsource jobs to other countries anyway. So my whole thing is we have to stop. We have to stop feeding this fucking machine that isn't doing anything for us. I mean, it's been a problem for a very long time. And I don't want, I mean, here's the other thing. We have to start, and maybe this is the way that I was raised. I was taught not to be materialistic. So I don't really give a damn about brands. I don't give a damn about presents. Most of the times, I was just happy to be off of school and happy to spend time with my family, because, most of the time you don't get a chance to see your family because either you're at school or they're always at work. So just because you may not be getting a gift, the gift could be just spending time with your family and your loved ones, people who you may not always be able to see on a daily.
Bitch, that didn't mean a whole lot when I was a kid, but I hear you.
It made a lot to me, shit. It did.
Yeah, I mean, I realize, yes, I agree with you, but I know, bitch, I like some toys, but I agree. You're right. You are right. You're right.
Well, I think a lot of people, I was talking to the girl does my hair, and she was saying, that her daughter is, obviously she's like 7 or 8, and she's like, she has so many toys. She's like, it's like so stupid to spend all this money on all these toys that these kids don't even hardly play with. So she's like, honestly, I'm just gonna cut it down to like, it's not even about affordability at this point. It's not even about consumerism. It's literally about the fact that we have too much shit. And we are spoiling these kids, and they're not even playing with this. So she was like, honestly, I wish I could just go on a trip and just go do something that we could like remember. But she's like, it's too late now. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get them like each 1 or 2 things and call it a day, because they get so much from all the other family members. So I think this year it's really not so much about like the abundance of gifts, but maybe just like the thoughtfulness, like maybe use the thoughtfulness of what you think that people actually need, what they want, And, you know, even if you don't want to necessarily give, you know, like I give my mom, my sister gifts, but I feel like I'm going to get them things that are actually meaningful to them, not just, oh, I'm going to spend $100, just spend $100 just so, you know, I could buy you a gift, like just to say it's Christmas. I feel like we should probably be a little bit more thoughtful in our gifts if we are going to spend money, where we're spending our money, who we're spending, like some people said, small businesses, and try to help people in different ways. So I think that's a thing. Like, I know my parents like going to Broadway shows, so, you know, give them something that will be memorable to them. It's a gift still, but it's not, you know, something that they're just going to put in a closet somewhere. So I think
y'all just do this. Just give somebody some money and say, hey, this is the blackout period. You can't.
I mean, that's fine too. I mean, that's not thoughtful, but
I'm very anti-money. Zachary is, I will never give you money or a gift card. But I also, so as I'm grappling with the conversation, I think for some people it's maybe materialism, but it's also sometimes for some of us it's different. My literal show love language is gifting. It's not many people's love language. It's not, and I know that because a lot of people can't receive the love I give by gifts, but that's just how I show love. I've always been like that. I've always been someone who surprises people with gifts. Even like as a teacher, I would surprise kids with gifts, not like a kid, but like the whole class, right? So surprise, you got this, I got the class this because you're so wonderful, or you guys have done so great growth, blah, blah, blah. So here's this gift, or here's this, you know, pizza party, cake. I've always been like a surprise gifter. Like Kenny, you know, like when I bought Denny that Wicked shit, because I'll see something and say, this is perfect for that person. So my gifts are actually very, very thoughtful. And I feel like money and gift cards is the exact opposite, is like the worst thing you could give, like to me or to someone, is like give them some money. It's like, what the fuck is that kind of, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the best thing you can give to me. The best thing that you can give to me is green. It's green as my wallpaper.
Bradley agrees with your ass.
Make it rain on me. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
You could be
this is a great gift too. Now I agree with that. When you cook for me, see, and my love receiving language, I receive love by acts of service. So when I don't want you to, I hate gifts. Like that's also a weird thing with me. I don't want any gifts. But if you cook for me or do something like that for me, yes, that's like the greatest way to show love. However, I can't cook a thing. I can buy you contestant some fluffy socks. I do like that. What we won't be buying anybody is the Epstein files, but it's been signed. It's been signed.
Do you think he tampered with them? You think how authentic do you think these files will be?
The same, they're gonna be the same files we've been seeing. They're gonna be a notebook of nothing. I mean, this is what they're gonna.
You think Tiffany is gonna be a notebook of nothing?
Yeah, they're just. I mean, it's gonna be the same documents that they have released before, and it's not gonna be anything different. They're gonna unredact a couple of things, and I don't foresee that we're gonna get what Elise Rokana and Thomas Massey think they're going to get out of this. They had all this time to release them. They didn't release them. They were subpoenaed. They didn't release them. So no, I don't think we're going to get like this some big reveal of names and people who were on this island. I just don't.
They said like they said the unclassified part. So I'm confused. Like what?
Yeah, you might get some emails. I mean, you might get these emails that we've been getting. You know, hearing all kinds of wild stuff. But I just honestly, it's been a show. I think it's been a show all along. And
so do you think we'll get more from because emails came from his estate? Do you think we'll get more from the estate than we actually will the files?
Well, I think there are things in the file that are things that maybe people don't necessarily want to be seen out there, like Bubba and all these other emails that have been circulating. So I think there's tidbits of information. I don't think you're going to get what people really want, which is Donald Trump's name on some Epstein list, this phantom list that's out there, and that is going to implicate him as being some type of pedo, which we already know that he probably is. So I just don't think that's going to happen. I think what you're going to see is just kind of what we've been seeing, which is just a lot of information coming out, but nothing that is really going to, clearly implicate him in the whole
nothing
thing.
That's going to really be changing anything in the political landscape.
Yeah, no.
Well, let me tell you what frustrates me more about this whole Epstein list thing, right? You know, it's interesting enough how quick they were able to unanimously vote for this, but yet we cannot unanimously vote for healthcare. We can't unanimously vote for paid family leave. We can't unanimously vote to deal with the cost of living and affordability. It's interesting enough that we can't unanimously vote to deal with actually raising the minimum wage, but yet we can unanimously vote to release these Epstein files that aren't going to do absolutely nothing while we're dealing with a crisis when it comes to debt, whether it be mortgage, student loan debt, credit card debt. We're not dealing with any of
medical
these
debt.
things. None of these fucking things while the cost of living continues to increase. But I'm going to tell you what's not going to be in them Epstein files. They're not going to be lowering my motherfucking light bill. I know that. I know Zach over there dealing with Georgia Power. How the fuck is this going to help the American people? Because, you know, interesting enough, and, you know, I work a regular smegular job, right? And I talk to people all day, regular smegular folks, about Epstein, people who don't really give a fuck about politics and stuff like that, people who are just so focused on being on the grind, focusing on how they're going to pay their bills and how they're going to make sure they feed their children and how they pay for health care and how they're going to make sure that they, you know, survive until the next paycheck, you know, living from paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to Sunday. Most people don't give a fuck about these files. Every time I ask somebody, I ask, okay, what do you think about the Epstein files? How you feel about Bubba? How you feel about him, you know, possibly blowing Bill Clinton? What do you think about these things? They say, I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Or a horse. Either Bill Clinton or a horse. I'm not
Mr.
saying
Ed. So what are we thinking about? Like, they don't give a fuck about none of that shit because it doesn't impact their daily lives. You know, Trump ran off of affordability saying that day one, I will make sure I lower the price of groceries. The only thing that I've seen be lowered is how much food I got in my motherfucking pantry.
Yeah, well, groceries are at our all-time high. I mean, we are in a situation where, like you said, to your point, Kenny, I do agree that the reason why there was a consensus to release this is, let's be honest, Donald Trump told them they could vote for it. He was tired of hearing about this in the news, so he said, go ahead and vote for it. We're gonna do what we're gonna do on the back end, which is at the DOJ. They got the 218. They had no choice. And they're going to do whatever they're going to do. But the reason that they did it is because of Trump. And so it just goes to show how screwed up our system is, to what we were talking about earlier, of the fact that we have people who want to actually do nothing. These people don't want to fucking work. Let's be real. Republicans don't want to work. They are ready to go back and go on vacation again. They were off for what? I don't know, 12 weeks? They don't give a shit about working.
50
the only
plus
thing that
days on their ad. I mean, like they work.
Yeah, the only
I
thing
want to say
do,
like less than 12 days from July until November.
It's ridiculous. And their schedule next year looks even worse. Like, all they want to do is show up. They're getting paid $174,000 a year. They have health care. They don't give a shit about the fact that people are struggling. They haven't done any town halls. I mean, this is what they do. Republicans don't give a shit about the people. And now they're talking about creating a healthcare plan. Like, none of this is real. Like, all of this is bullshit. And yeah, it sucks that we can't get things done. And the thing is, we could have got more done under Biden if it wasn't for stupid ass mansion and cinema. It just pisses me off when I think about the fact that we could have gotten more done. This affordability stuff could have been handled during that time frame. We have regressed. We have truly regressed back to 2020, 2021. Shit is more expensive than during fucking COVID. This is where we're at. It's sad. It's really pissing me off.
So I asked today, I asked Chuck Schumer, Leader Schumer. I had some questions for him today. And that's the surprise that I had.
I see. I mean, my goodness.
I'm fast.
Right here on the timeline for us.
Okay, so I wanted to know about this process, and I wanted to know, like, are we really going to get these files? So let's take a look at this together. I hope. Thank you so much for taking time to be with me and to talk to my network. It means a lot. I appreciate you. I know that you have a full day. And so I'm just going to get right to the heart of really why we're here. And it's really all about these Epstein files. Leader Schumer, are we really finally about to get these files and find out what's in them and the impact that this could have on American politics?
Okay. On the first question, look, we've won the battle. We have passed it in the House, passed it in the Senate. It's now going to the president. But the war continues. And that's because I don't trust Trump. I don't trust Bondi. I don't trust Kash Patel. They will fuck around with this and try to avoid sending the things that might incriminate Trump or any of their pallies. So we have to keep at it. But we should take part in what happened. Let me give you a little inside info on what happened. So we sort of surprised him. At 3 o'clock, right after the House passed the bill, I told Thune that I was going to go to the floor and ask what's called unanimous consent to pass this before the first vote. I didn't give him much time. I said, if you block it, you block it. We'll keep going after you and bring it up again. But it would be great. But, you know, of course, I felt I didn't tell him it's great if you let it pass. So we went to the floor and it passed. And we used a little arcane procedure. You know, sometimes the Senate rules hurt us, most of the time. Sometimes they help us. And this is called deeming. You deem the bill passed even if it hasn't gotten there. Because what Johnson wanted to do is hold the bill up and then ask them to do amendments. But we didn't give him time. So the deeming says it just automatically passes the House, and it automatically passes the Senate. And once the House sends it over, it goes right to the president's desk. No votes, no amendments, no nothing. That's what happened. So that's the first part of the battle. And it wouldn't have happened. Look, you know and I know that this wouldn't have happened without the great work of those victims who just kept going at it and going at it and going at it. And one of the great moments for me is after it passed, I heard the cheers from outside that were right outside the Capitol. It made my heart, because they've done so much. But the battle continues. The war continues. We have to make sure that it's all exposed. And I don't trust Bondi. I don't trust Kash Patel. I don't trust the president. They're going to try to cover up a whole lot of this. But here's the good news. We have a whole lot of whistleblowers who know a lot about what's in these files. And if they try to release stuff without some of the most potent information, these whistleblowers will let us know, and we will go after them in every way possible. But not only will we go after them, the public will. How did we get everyone to vote for this? It was amazing, because the public was so outraged that so many of these people would be involved with Epstein, including Trump, and then try to hide. And that's
the power with the people. And I think that's an important part, leader, to emphasize that the people have the power to push back and make real change happen, even if there's different types of obstruction. And I do want to ask about that possible obstruction that will come. But, you gave great credit to the survivors who are the heart of this, who were instrumental in pushing it through. But I want to quickly go on record and give credit to the knowledge that you have as leader and your ability to make this happen and to mobilize, and also to Senator Leader Thune. I'm thankful and grateful that he and his caucus came together to do what's right for the American people in a very fast and very expeditious way. And I think, my viewers are going to be probably shocked to hear me say that. But I think credit has to be given to where credit is due when our leaders do what's right. So, Catch My Whiff said, clearly, sometimes being a Senate dinosaur gives you insights that nobody else knows about. And I think that is what I sometimes say about experience, about in my defense of Leader Jeffries, that's what leadership takes. Now, again, we also had contestants say that we look like, that man from Up, and we know what happened at the end of that movie. We went on up. But I think huge opportunity, great interview. I'm dropping the whole interview tonight. You'll be able to see it tomorrow. I just got it. So I got to edit the rest of it, clean it up. Not really like just the look. Cause you say how dark I look in it. Cause I was last minute kind of like, yeah, he can meet with you for X number at this time. Can you do it? Yep, I sure can. Because I had questions. And what's coming next in this interview that I'm going to drop is, what is the future for the party? Where are we going next? What are you doing next in the Senate? What's next? Like, how do we avoid some of the things that happened last week from happening in the future? So that's so you can know what's happening. That's what's going to be happening.
Well, I think
okay. I want to know more about this deeming process, and why have we never tried to use this before?
They have used it. They have tried to use it before. I think they try to use it there was a couple of weeks ago that they tried to use it. I forgot what bill it was. But listen, there's a lot of Senate procedures that people don't even understand or know about. I think I talked about this last week about how crazy it is. And like I said, Chuck Schumer, like it or not, he is to me, he's the procedural leader of the floor, right? I mean, he knows kind of, yes. Yeah, I know.
I'm laughing at the people, the comments, like,
it's silly as hell.
but this is true.
Listen, there is a lot.
You did hit it with the oh Lord.
No, I listen. I respect Chuck Schumer. I don't think he's the right person for this job right now. But Kenny, me and Kenny, we have different opinions. I'd be like, give him a little bit of grace. Give him a little bit of grace. I try with Chuck, but I do think that on floor stuff, he is actually really good. He understands the procedural rules of the Senate. Where he's terrible at is messaging and talking and strongly worded letters. All that shit annoys the hell out of me. But when it comes to actually the floor, strategic stuff that happens, he actually is really good at it. So I'm not surprised that he knew how to manipulate and get around stuff. Like I said, they have used it before. I'm gonna look for it, Kenny. But there was something that they tried to go to the floor with for unanimous consent, and it got through. And it happens all the time.
It happens,
but people don't really pay attention to the Senate to know really what happens, because it never happens on things that are really kind of important, to be honest.
I know, but that's the thing that's the part that's frustrating the hell out of me. Is like, I'm not saying these Epstein files aren't important, but there's so many other things that we could have passed, like the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. That was
Republicans
important.
won't be on board. That's the problem.
But I don't okay, there's interesting that they'll sit here and say that, oh, there's election fraud and this, that, and other. This was rigged. But why the fuck would you not want to pass something like that to make it easier for people to vote?
The point is to make it harder.
It's coming. Let me tell you something. I really do believe the gerrymandering shit show that we're living through is going to lead to the passage of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. I do. I really believe it. I think that, but it has to come from the American people. And we have to be consistent in our work, and we really have to really narrow our focus on the advocacy that we are going to champion. In the same way that we just saw Carlos ask Axel and Kiki, they have made anti-consumerism and the fight against capitalism their cornerstone of their work and their advocacy. We're going to have to decide what is the issue that we're going to hone in on, and it might be for us voting rights, and we're going to have to truly commit huge amounts of our work, our content, and our time to that message to really garner the support of more people so that can make it over the finish line. What happens, though, is that oftentimes we are so divided among so many issues, and we're fighting for everything, that nothing really wins. That is what got us the passage of the Affordable Care Act, is that it was a singular fight. And I never agreed that it should have been the first fight, but it was a fight that we were able to win, and it has endured. So I think it's going to be the same thing around voting rights. And I think slowly but surely we're getting there. I think the moment will come. But right now, we just don't have the support of Republicans on shit. And we don't have the support of the false Democrats or the pretend Democrats or the sleeper Democrat or the sleeper Republicans of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Listen, the only way that they are going to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is if there is voter ID involved, because that is what Republicans want. They don't care about the other shit. They want that damn voter ID, because in their minds, they believe that is how they can disenfranchise voters. Right. Without having to do all the mechanics of the bullshit that they're doing right now.
That's right. They don't want us to vote, which is crazy. There's a country I just heard about where if you don't vote, you're fined. Like every single person who's eligible to vote has to vote, or they are financially fined a fee.
I love that. But
Chile.
Then again,
I think it's Chile.
It's just
somebody fact check me and let me know in the comments.
We should have just made election day of a federal holiday, but
that was included in the bill.
That's in the bill. So
listen, these Republicans even in Maryland, they drive me crazy, because that's all they want to talk about is voter ID. So something related to voter ID is likely going to come up. And this is something that Trump was pushing, which is why he wanted to kill the filibuster, which he may end up trying to do again at some point, because he is very scared of 2026. And he's also scared of 2028. And he knows that, again, when we vote, we win. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago. So they're going to try to do everything they can to kind of try to get us to not be able to vote. So I think that's just something to keep an eye on. But what we're seeing also, as I said, this week with the gerrymandering is that
Great
You
job.
know, these people wanted to harm Texans by taking away their representation. And what they found out is that, yes, these judges are not going to be with this bullshit. And now it's going to go to the Supreme Court, which we all know those are Trump's people. But will they even agree with it? And it will be very telling, because that will lead us to a point where we know what is coming down the pipe with the Section 2, and if they are going to allow this. These things all come together at some point,
right.
And this is kind of where we're heading, and there's a lot happening. So I mean, we just got to be aware and understand what's going on. But I was surprised by that ruling, and I was happy to see it, and I was glad that Gavin took the trigger out, because that we still those 5 seats regardless.
Right, like that. So it was just a great. It was just all of this has been a great week. All of these things have led to a great week. Not so great week for Kenny and the Barbs, though, was this shit right here. Kenny, I know that you have loved this woman to a certain extent, like her music, not her, but her music.
There you go.
We've talked about this in the past. You've made some content around it. Kenny, what you got to say about this?
So here's my thing about Miss Minaj. It's interesting enough that she wants to advocate for this non-existent genocide that's happening in Nigeria, because we already understand that the Muslims are also being killed just as much as the Christians are, even to the tens of thousands. But this is the first time I've actually seen her advocate for anything other than herself. Anytime that she's ever advocated for something, it has something to do with her. She sits here and talk about how she hates the persecution of people, but I've never heard her say anything about what's happening right now as Trump is militarizing the military to go into these Democratic-led cities, particularly Black cities, and targeting people of color, particularly immigrants, or even those who are actually citizens, rounding them up, putting them in a truck. I don't remember her advocating for when they decided to, hey, we're going to challenge and try to cut SNAP or SNAP benefits. I don't remember her advocating for any of us.
No.
So my question is she doing, and the other thing is, why the hell is she over here advocating for the UN in Nigeria when her ass is from fucking Trinidad? That's another damn question, which threw me for an entire loop, knowing the fact that she is also not a U.S. citizen herself.
That's the part that I think, I hate to say it, and you know what? Let's just pretend like it's all about good faith and she's doing the right thing.
Think she wants
Let's just say it definitely can't be because she's scared of getting. It can't be that she's afraid of being a target because maybe she herself isn't a citizen, or the issues surrounding the man she married. Maybe it's not those issues.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Or maybe she thinks, oh, well, maybe I can use it. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I can't really speak on this.
It's giving ops to me. I'm sorry. Is giving ops to me between this, the COVID thing, the whole like kissing Trump's ass kind of thing. Like all of it ties in together, and it's just giving.
Do you think she's still salty at the mere fact that when she spread that misinformation about her cousin's testicles swelling up after receiving the COVID vaccine, and when I guess it was somebody from HHS reached out to her and they was trying to correct the misinformation that she was giving, and they offered her to jump on a Zoom call, but she told everybody on Twitter that she was invited to the White House when she wasn't. They invited her on a Zoom call to speak to specialists about the misinformation that she was putting out around COVID. And the mere fact that Trump said, hey, I will bring, a Nicki Minaj on here to represent
Kenny,
knowing she don't know shit.
This is the
other thing. Some people are so fucking petty.
Kenny is definitely giving her way more credit.
RFK switched party affiliations, then switched to be head of HHS because Joe Biden was debunking his misinformation when it came to COVID. Do you think that all of this might have something to do when we were shut down, that people are this petty because they were spreading, they thought they were WebMD?
I mean, look at Elon, same thing. He was pissed he didn't get invited to the White. I mean, these people do have petty beefs with Democrats. A lot of people do. So it doesn't surprise me. But the whole Nigeria, Nigeria thing, that doesn't make any sense to me with her. Like it's just giving like they a paid op kind of thing.
No, yeah, somebody wanted a big name to do this.
Yeah, and the fact that she is actually like being like she's literally in communication on Twitter with like the DHS or whatever department. Like this shit is obvious. Like it to me is just a whole fucking op. I'm sorry. The bitch is crazy, and so are her fans. And sorry, I can't take any of them. I can't even take her seriously. And the fact that she's at the UN is a freaking joke. Like it just the whole thing is ridiculous.
But they'll say, well, hey, the Barbs are one. At least will say, at least she didn't go up there like Cardi B and say Trump said because of her accent. Well, that's all we're gonna hear.
Team Cardi,
because she didn't have an accent.
I think that she's losing fans. I think that she's losing support, but I also think she doesn't care. I think that I think she may look at MAGA on one hand as a way of increasing as some opportunities are drying up. Maybe she sees new opportunities, but I think more than anything else, I know that the MAGA movement uses people they can use. And they know that there's a lot of usage out of Nicki Minaj, and that Nicki Minaj may be in a compromised situation to where she has to do some of the things they tell her to do. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Not to take away from the vileness of what she's doing. I'm just trying to rationalize as to why she is doing it.
But it doesn't make any sense. Like her fan base, and this is the sad thing about it, is the majority of her fan base are people who look like me and Zach. The girls, the queens, the men with wigs. I mean, she has.
I am not a queen, nor have you ever seen me wear a wig. I love you.
You be shaking them dreads like they're 30-inch bust down. You know what I'm talking about? Bust down. But the majority of her base are queer. Okay, they're part of the LGBT community, and we have been very, supportive of Miss Minaj. But it's interesting enough that she has never been this vocal when it came to the Post Night shooting. She's never been this vocal when it came to the attacks on marriage equality. She's never been this vocal for any of us. And I think right now, a lot of this is very telling. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair that we're sitting here watching as this man completely attacks the trans community, making it seem like they cannot carry firearms because apparently he wants to mark them as mentally insane. But yet, this is your base. And he's attacking your base, the people who would literally put you in the position that you are, that actually gave you money, that actually propelled you to this stardom.
That's right.
And I think that's where she's not understanding that when people are asking her, you cannot sit here and give credit for Donald Trump when he's terrorizing your fan base. Like, I don't think that she understands the optics of it. And she's doing this of her own volition.
I think she just doesn't care. I think she understands it. I think she just doesn't care. I think she sees it being more advantageous to do what she's doing than to care about the people that have supported her and that still may love her.
I agree.
Trump is only going to be in office. He's not going to be there forever, you guys. I don't understand what the hell she's thinking about. Like, Trump is going to go away eventually. He's already on the wing of the fucking prayer. He's got that core crux.
I think she wants to be a permanent citizen, a legal citizen.
Okay, what the fuck?
I think she wants to be a legal citizen. I think she wants her husband to maybe get what is it, like his record cleared, or what is that? Pardon.
He wants it expunged or a pardon or some shit. But I don't understand. Like, girl, you can still send somebody else to come pick up your child. Your father, you married him. You knew what the fuck it was when you got with him before you got pregnant.
Maybe we don't know. You're right. There's a lot of things that unfortunately there's a lot of things that it possibly could be. So we're going to see. So that kind of wraps up the plan show. We are at the hour 11:01. I don't want to go over because this is work, and I don't want Tiffany and Kenny to be like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I can go. I have a lot of stamina, so when I'm up, I'm going. After this, I'll be going on TikTok live because I'm trying to grow that TikTok audience. Hey, I'm tired of being got to get that number up. So
Contessa is out of control.
It's funny.
So I'm gonna be going on TikTok live and doing every day for like a 30-day span, including on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be doing the top 5 on live, like 5 things like of the week of the day. So I'm gonna do that next. So any fun stuff to talk about before we wrap up? I know Kenny saw Wicked. Tiffany, have you seen Wicked?
Nope.
No, it hasn't come out yet. I went to go see her early.
Wait a minute. Tiffany and I are the nobody brokies. So we don't have access. But see, Kenny via Danny, like they're special. Like they're like super fans and they're special. So I got that stamina. You girl, you don't have no idea. Some people know. Kenny, so like you got to go. Tell us the truth. Like tell us the truth about this movie.
Believe that
no spoilers, but is this gonna be worth my holiday time?
You even watched the first one?
Bitch, I can't go. My bad.
Have you watched?
Blacked out. We blacked the fuck out.
What are you talking about? It's gonna be in the theater afterwards.
I would go to Wicked during that holiday, but I can't go because it's blackout. So that means I can go after the blackout period ends. But is it worth my money and time? Yes, I saw the first one. Me, Brian went. We went.
So if you love the first one, you have no other choice but to go finish.
I did not love the first one.
You didn't?
Let me not lie to you. Like, let me just keep it a buck. Brian loved the first one. He may have shed a tear. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying maybe. But Kenny, I've seen Wicked on Broadway before, and it was, oh my God, on Broadway. So I already know the story, but I saw Wicked on Broadway, and it was okay.
Okay, so the reason why
changed my fucking life.
The reason why it's so relevant to right now is we're talking about resistance, and that's what the second piece is about. It's the fact that she's going out for a limb by herself and being labeled.
Tell us what it's about, Kenny. Don't because some people.
No, I mean, but I'm not spilling anything. I'm not spilling the tea. But this is literally in this reference. I feel that people need to definitely go see it and understand that when we're talking about resistance, by any means necessary, and sometimes you don't ever get a chance to see the fruits of your labor. It's for the next generation.
No, okay, that's what it's
about. What we're fighting
now.
For right
but
now is for the next.
Was it good acting?
It was very good acting, but however,
good singing and good all that shit that people.
Yes, production wise was everything. But then again, I went to go see it in IMAX.
Wanting to buy Wicked shit, like where you're like, oh, I want to go and buy some shit.
No, but I do want to add 2 songs to my playlist. I do want to do that. I definitely want to add 2 of the songs to my playlist whenever we get to it. But the only thing that I will least say as the criticism to Wicked Part 2 is the fact that I feel that some of the scenes were a little bit rushed and they didn't allow some of the scenes
in part 1 or part 2.
Part 2. They didn't allow a lot of the scenes to breathe in order to get the emotional aspect of it. So that's the only criticism I have. But otherwise, part 1, 10 out of 10. Part 2 was an 8.5 out of 10.
Oh shit! So I thought part 1 was so I may be going down, but we'll see. Are you going to go, Tiffany?
No.
Tiffany,
you're not a musical person, are you?
No.
You ain't sitting in no damn music.
No, I'll go to a Broadway show, but I'm not gonna go to the movies and watch no damn music.
Tiffany, you don't like going to the movies?
I do once in a while. But I have to really want to. If it's a Black Panther, I'll go see it. Like it has to be one of those kind of movies. Like,
so did you see Dreamgirls in the theater?
No.
Oh my God, this is
terrible. No.
Oh, Dreamgirls was so Jennifer Hudson. But so Tiffany, you haven't been to the last movie was not Black Panther. What was the last movie?
No, the last movie I saw was the Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky movie, which was like a month, 2 months, like in the summertime. I went to go see that.
Wow.
I have to be in the mood to go to the movies. It's usually like a Black movie.
You like an action thriller.
Yeah, it depends on who's in the movie. That's how I decide if I want to go see the movie. But I mean, I've had a lot of stuff going on this summer. But I mean, typically in the fall. But typically I would go to the movies. If Phil wants to go, I'll go with him to see something. But there really hasn't been anything that I'm like, oh, I want to go see that I got to go see at the movies. Even the Sinners movie. I don't like scary movies, or I would have went.
You didn't like Sinners, or you didn't
like scary movies.
It wasn't scary.
I know, but I still wouldn't watch it. My daughter went to see it 3 times. She went enough for me and her. And she took my husband. But it's not my kind of thing.
I will
No,
be
I'm
watching
gonna
Michael
watch the
Jackson.
biopic.
I will be.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. So my ex had no attention span, so movies weren't fun. But now I'm going out. I am enjoying it. The last movie I saw was Fantastic Four. Um, you know, I'm gonna probably go and see Wicked. We'll see. I did see Sinners, and I thought it was decent. It was pretty good. But I'm also a much harsher critic than most people. I just I've learned to keep my criticisms of things that everyone loves to myself.
So I'm guessing you said it was decent, so you weren't a big fan. Look, I understand what you mean. It was a very long drag to get to the
It
point.
was.
So
Let's
I
get
know
to
what
that.
you're talking about. I liked the storytelling of it. I liked the era, that they were in. But I appreciated that, but I would prefer them get straight to the business in that movie.
So yeah, I got to do a better job though of I've got to do. Zachary needs to turn off the news and do other things. So I'm working on that because part of my stamina is that I work all the time. So I'm gonna work on that. Like Kenny's been watching HBO, Welcome to Dairy. I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't. So that's something I plan to do.
Definitely want everybody to watch that. And when I tell you, Black folks, be prepared to be pissed.
Wait, what about the blacks?
Yeah,
I
saw the preview. I was
turn on Welcome to Dairy. Be prepared as Black people. We are going to be triggered. We are going to be pissed. This is the timeline is 1910.
Yeah,
or 19 something. We are going to be pissed. So
I
just
think
be
it's like
prepared.
Isn't it like the 1970s, Kenny?
1920s, 1930s, somewhere around there. We are going to be pissed because
Kenny,
shit
it's not
is
that
going on.
long ago. No.
I'm serious.
Welcome
It's
to
before the
Dairy.
civil rights movement. We are going to be pissed.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
We are going to be mad.
It was giving like Watchmen kind of vibes.
Kenny,
Like
it's the 1960s. I knew it wasn't no damn 1920s.
I don't give a damn. I'm telling you, it's around that time.
They didn't have no cars in the 1910s.
Yeah, it was given like Watchmen vibes, like going backwards, scary.
Oh, you watched it too. You've been watching.
I know. I saw the preview because I was watching something else over the weekend, and I was like, "Oh, this kind." And it's kind of looking a little scary. And Phil even walked in the room and saw the preview, and he was like, "That looks kind of good." So I figured, how many episodes are we in on this, or is the whole thing out?
I think it's 4.
We're on 4 episodes.
Okay.
How many episodes do you think we're gonna get?
Sunday, I'm tuned in.
Okay,
How many episodes does the season run? Do you know?
I have no idea, but they have yet. I'm not gonna say anything. All I know is that they don't give a damn about these kids.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it over the holiday. I'm gonna just enjoy it. I'm trying to find out how many episodes it's gonna run. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you in a moment.
It's on HBO, right? Like 10.
Yeah. It's going to be 8 episodes. The season finale will be on December the 14th. So it's halfway done. Poetic, thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother. I hope go back and watch. You're really gonna like the beginning of the show. You are our resident progressive. Fight the capitalist system. You're gonna love what you see. Thank you. We're talking about Welcome to Dairy. It's a TV show on HBO. And yeah, we are almost done. Go back and watch what you missed. And Kenny says it's good. I'm gonna give it a go. We'll workshop it later. All right, guys, we will see you soon.
Bye. See
Bye,
ya.
y'all.